This computer terminal provides full access to the L car's computer net.
The CRF250L, Honda's answer to the dual sport market since 2012. A 4-stroke 250cc engine with fuel injection powers this bike, weighing in on the bathroom scale at a hefty 317 pounds dry, probably thinking that diet soda actually helps you lose weight. Is the Honda CRF250L a good bike? Well...
No.
Yes.
Yeah,
No.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes. I love Italian. And so do you.
Yes.
Is the Honda CRF250L a dirt bike?
You keep using the word. I don't think it means what you think it means.
Well, no, but it looks like one, and it does look sweet. Honda did a good job with the styling of this bike, especially with the refresh in 2017. This review is meant to help you make the decision whether this motorcycle is right for you. It's not meant to knock it or prop it up. I've owned 2 of these bikes and have ridden them in varied conditions, and I can give you the perspective of a new dirt bike rider and a more experienced rider. One thing I see in common with new riders is that they waste tons of money buying and selling the wrong bikes, not knowing what they want and how they want to ride and where they want to ride. Trust me, I've gotten the snake eye from my wife because of this poor decision making, especially after I bought the second CRF. It took me 5 bikes in the space of 2 years to know what I want. Okay, let's get to it. Where have I ridden this bike? I've ridden the Little Red Pig on the road, on single track, on dirt roads, on double track trails, in the woods, and most awesomely, across the ocean in Naxos, Greece. Can the CRF do all these things? Yes. Should the CRF do all these things? No. Before you buy a bike, it's hard to gauge what type of riding you will enjoy the most, especially if you haven't had the opportunity to experience all the types of riding there are. Let's get this out of the way now. The CRF is not a dirt bike. It may look like one, but it's not. It's a dual sport that is very road oriented and trail capable. It's a trail bike. The CRF is very much at home on the road, with its very linear and smooth engine, and can handle fire roads and simple trails very well. If you ask it to do much more than that, you will be disappointed. I can't emphasize enough that this is not a dirt bike. So if you have dreams of motocross and enduro riding, you will be underwhelmed. One thing I always notice on Craigslist and Facebook Market is the ample supply of for sale CRFs that are relatively new, and I was one of them, and it is precisely because people expect this bike to be something it's not. So what do I like about the bike?
You complete me. I love you.
The CRF250L is a Honda, and that means something to most everyone that hears that name. Honda is synonymous with reliability, and the CRF will last decades like its predecessor. The CRF is a Honda and therefore will be one of the bikes roaming Zombieland doing supply runs for the survivors.
Rule number 32. Enjoy the little things. Tallahassee got his Twinkie.
It can go anywhere. The bike is very smooth on the road and can take you anywhere. Part of the draw to dual sport is the Go Anywhere feature, and the CRF can go anywhere. To the trail or through the trail, the CRF can do it. I rode this bike in Naxos, Greece all around the island in varying conditions on roads, dirt roads, through mountains, and it got me there and back with no issues, so the bike is very capable. It has great fuel efficiency. While not important to me personally, it's nice to know that you're sipping fuel so you can get to your faraway destination or ride all day without worry. Add-ons. There are tons of add-ons for this bike. Go to crfsonly.com and they have everything you could want to soup up the bike and fartle it up to your heart's content. Last but not least, looks. Let's be honest, the bike just looks really cool. I've always been a fan of Honda Red, and this is no exception. Alright, well, what don't I like?
And I'll tell you why. So that every shriek of every child at seeing your hideousness will be yours to cherish. Every babe that weeps at your approach, every woman who cries out, "Dear God, what is that thing?" will echo in your perfect ears. That is what the pain means. It means I leave you in anguish, wallowing in freakish misery forever.
The thing I don't like most about the CRF250L is the engine. It's weak, it's anemic, and has absolutely no guts to it. It's based off a Honda CRF250R engine, so that makes this engine a street bike engine, and that's not a good thing in this case.
Let's see what he's got, said the captain. And then we found out, didn't we?
Any pull that the engine has is in second gear at a very high RPM. Anything above that and you will be sadly disappointed if power is important to you. You don't need a bat out of hell engine to bring a smile to your face as you go through the gears, but this engine is seriously lacking in usable power. If you encounter any hill climbs and you pick the wrong gear, you are screwed. And if you are cruising in the highway in 6th gear and you encounter a headwind or want to pass someone, good luck. The bike will cruise at 75-ish miles per hour with no headwind on a flat surface, but if you are in the mountains, you will be downshifting all the time. As a matter of fact, you will be downshifting most of the time anywhere on this bike. I have heard people describe this bike as a gutless turd, and unfortunately, that is accurate.
You know what I think? I think you ain't nothing but a gutless yellow turd.
The second thing I don't like is the weight of the bike. It's heavy. If you plan on dirt riding, it will be a chore to pick up. The CRF is not a flippable bike. All the weight is up high as well, which keeps it from feeling lighter than it is. The last thing I don't like is the suspension. It is super soft and very comfortable, but is non-adjustable, and it's just bad for any off-roading. The suspension doesn't inspire confidence to help you improve your riding, and it bottoms out on even a small jump. It's good for the road, fire roads, and simple trails, but don't expect much more out of it. Yes, I know that you can upgrade the ECU and the suspension, etc., but ask yourself, if you have to spend another $3,000 to get any bike just marginally better, maybe you bought the wrong bike. Okay, it may seem like I am bashing the Little Red Pig a little harshly, but I actually do think it's a good bike, for the right circumstances. It's a matter of picking the right tool for the job, and that leads to, who should buy the bike? Someone who commutes and hits the occasional trails, people who ride fire roads in simple dirt trails that aren't that technical, someone who wants a small adventure bike that just wants to get out with the ability to go anywhere, because the bike will do it. Beginner riders who don't plan on developing their off-road skills and just want a basic dirt bike. Someone who is a Honda brand loyalist. Someone who doesn't want to invest too much money as the price of the bike is pretty fair. Okay, well, who shouldn't buy the bike? If you plan on going any further than the basics and off-roading, then avoid this bike. Anyone who craves performance, as this is a gutless turd. I can't stress enough that this engine will leave you wanting. Anyone who wants decent suspension, holy crap, this thing bottoms out easy. If you plan on doing any hill climbs, tight single track, or any enduro riding, then this is not the bike for you. So, is this a good bike?
No.
Yes.
Yeah,
No.
no.
Yes.
No.
Yes. I love Italian. And so do you.
Yes.
As far as my conclusion goes, the CRF250L gets a facepalm for being a gutless turd and having an abysmal suspension and having Honda's version of being beautiful on the inside weight. And it gets an N-gauge for being capable of going anywhere and encouraging people to ride, because in the end, all that matters is that you're out there and riding and living life to its fullest.